All right, I'm going to say something that most of us guitar YouTubers don't ever say on our channels. Stop buying gear. Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another episode. So with all the stuff going on these days with, you know, the economy and, you know, all the other stuff I'm not going to get into on this channel because I don't do that here. So a lot of people are kind of tight on money, and they're either tight on money or they don't really want to spend any money right now because they want to see what happens, you know. So people are kind of holding out on buying gear right now, and I noticed that with the fact that the views are down on a lot of our channels because people aren't as excited about gear as they used to be, because they're like, I can't afford that anyway, so why am I watching this video? So, and I totally understand that. So because of that, I want to do this video for you guys. So I'm going to contradict what I said in the intro a little bit in the video, because basically what I'm trying to do is help you guys get the most out of your gear. And maybe you have to spend a little bit of money to accentuate some things or fix some things with your gear, but it's going to stop you from spending a ton of money on new gear that you probably don't need. So let's start off with amps right now. Like, let's say you're frustrated with your amp and you're like, man, I just want to get brand X or brand Y or amp X or amp Y because I'm just tired of my amp, and for some reason, maybe it doesn't have enough top end, or maybe it doesn't have enough low end, or it's not aggressive enough for you, or whatever, you know. So let's go over a perfect example of that right now. So instead of spending $2,500 or $3,000 or even $1,500 on a new amplifier, why not spend $150 on an EQ pedal? And you can just put it in the loop. Like this MXR EQ is $150, and you just put it in the loop of your amp, and it'll fix a lot of the problems that you're probably bitching about with your amplifier. So perfect example is, let's go with the Kraken, okay, the Super Kraken. I'm going to run it through my Red 7 Evo. So here's the Kraken, and here it is without the EQ. And then as you notice, I switch cameras here. As you notice, I bumped a couple of the frequencies. So I bumped the 4K and the 8K just slightly, just to give it that top end that it's missing. So I'll play a couple riffs, and then I'll go ahead and engage the EQ, and you'll see what a difference that makes. So right there, problem solved. By the way, I finally get to enjoy a cigar while I'm shooting my videos, because I got this new Rabbit Air, you know, purifier thing down here, and I'm testing it out, and I really hope it works because I love smoking cigars. And, you know, why not have one while I'm shooting my videos or while I'm editing, you know? So anyways, by the way, for you guys who are interested, I'm smoking a New World Oscuro, one of my favorite cigars, freaking amazing. So as you can hear, it definitely fixed the problem with the top end. So I don't need to sell this on Reverb, take a loss on it, and go out and spend, I don't know, a couple $1,000s on a new amplifier. This fixed the problem, and it actually made it a little more aggressive too. So I kind of like that. So now let's hear how that affects the amp in a mix. So I'm going to start out with it off, and I'll just play a short little mix here. And you'll hear what a difference it makes. So as you can hear, made a pretty big difference. It made it come forward in the mix a little bit, and that little bit of top end that I added just made all the difference. And I think the amp sounds a little more aggressive now. So that's a really inexpensive way to fix any issues that you have with your amplifier. I mean, even if your amp has not enough low end, you can boost the lows here, you know, or mids or whatever you want. They even have more, you know, faders on other EQ pedals that have even more options for you. So, I mean, try that before you sell your amp, take a loss, and spend another couple grand on something else that you can easily fix with EQ pedal. All right, so next on the list, let's say you're just tired of the way your amp sounds and you want to get an amp that sounds different or better or whatever, you know. Instead of buying a new amplifier, once again, maybe just get another speaker. Like I'm using 212s, so if you have a 412, maybe add 2 new speakers in an X pattern or whatever, and get a completely different sound that will change everything. I mean, the speaker is going to have a way more impact on your sound than a new amp will, you know. So let's go ahead and test that theory now. So I have a Mesa cab with vintage 30s, and that's mic'd with a Royer 121 and an SM57, and then I have my Zilla cab, and the mic is on the DV77 speaker. So I'm going to show you how just getting a different speaker can really impact your sound, you know, and have a bigger, you know, impact on it than getting a different amp will. So pay attention to the screen. What you see on the screen will be first the Mesa cab, and then I will add the Zilla cab after that, and you'll see what a difference that makes. So let's give that a try. Okay, so a little on the subtle side, but also I noticed a lot more mids coming through because the DV77 has a lot of mids, and it's got that really nice thick growl to it, and it just added some really nice stuff to the sound. So just getting a speaker like that, or, you know, in my case, 1 speaker because I use 212s, but in your case, if you have a 412, get 2 speakers, but it's a lot cheaper. I mean, you're looking at maybe a couple $100 to maybe $300 for speakers as opposed to a couple $1,000s for a new amplifier. So that also is a really good option for you. And there's a lot of great speaker combinations out there. Go ahead and post what you use below, because I know a lot of you guys watching this video are agreeing with me, going, yeah, I just got a couple of different speakers and everything sounds so much better now and so much different now. It was worth it to invest in those as opposed to investing a couple $1,000s into a new amp. I just spent a couple $100, got some speakers, and I'm a lot happier with the sound right now. So that's also a great way for you to save money and have kind of a new amplifier again, because again, the speakers are going to have a huge impact over the sound, some more than others. I think the DV77 pairs really well with the vintage 30s. It just adds that little bit of like mid-range to it that I really like a lot. So I think that's a great pairing, but pick whatever works for you and go with that and save a ton of money. All right, another really cool option to do when you're a little frustrated with your amplifier is spend a couple $100 on the Legendary Tones Mr. Scary mod. I have it in 2 of my amps. One of them is the Badlander, which is pictured on the screen there, and the other one is the JEL 20, and I think that mod made a huge difference in those amps and made me completely fall in love with the amps even more. So like my Badlander, it sounded great. It was a little hollow and a little too undergained for me, and I think a lot of you guys would agree with that. So when I put the mod in there, it solved both of those problems very easily. So I'm just going to do a couple riffs for you with that right now. And instead of selling the amp and getting something different, I just spent a couple $100 on the mod. Now the amp sounds freaking perfect, and I love it. So to each their own, but I think it fixed the problem for me, and it's a forever amp for me now. And like I said, I saved a bunch of money. So let's hear what that sounds like now. Yep, now it's aggressive and nasty, and I have it on Crush. So let's flip it up to crunch mode and see what that sounds like. So before, crunch mode didn't work for me at all. Now I have plenty of gain and fullness on crunch mode, so I could go either way. Freaking amazing. And where do I have the gain at? Probably like 1 o'clock now because of the mod. So do that instead of selling your amplifier. Just get the mod. And the only caveat I'll say is check his website. Make sure the mods will work with your amplifier. He has 2 different kinds of mods. He has the reverse wire and the standard. So depending on your amp, you'll need one or the other. It's very easy to, to apply to your amp. It took me 20 minutes. It was nothing to do. Anybody could do it. It's simple. And you have to have a cathode follower in your amp for it to work. So just check all that stuff or reach out to David and he'll get back with you and let you know if it works or not. Okay, I got notes here because I want to make sure I cover everything that I set out to do. So now regarding the modelers and profilers and all that kind of stuff, if you're frustrated with it and you want to sell your unit, take a loss on it and spend money on something else, I mean, or if you're just frustrated because you're like, I can't afford the new thing that everyone's bragging about right now, I get where you're coming from. I do. And it's easy for me to say because I do have a lot of different modelers here for the channel, so I can do videos and shootouts and stuff. But some things that I can say to you is IRs matter. Number one, IRs matter. So if you're frustrated with your modeler, just get a new IR pack from somebody, whether it's me or anybody else out there that sells impulse responses. Just get a new pack, put them in there, try them out, and that could make a huge difference on how the modeler both sounds and feels, believe it or not. So, I mean, you get a new IR pack and it's like you got a whole new modeler now. And now you're probably not going to be so frustrated with it or ready to sell it and take a loss on it and spend a bunch of money on something else. Or you don't have to deal with the frustration of not being able to afford something else. So you could get something like that. Or maybe it's time to strip things down and get back to basics. Maybe the presets you dialed in are so convoluted and overly dialed in to the point where they're just frustrating. Just start over and give yourself 10 minutes to dial in a new preset. And my rule is on any modeler or digital platform, if you can't dial in a good preset in 10 minutes, I mean, there's something wrong either with you or the modeler or the IRs that you're using. So just dial in something fresh and start over. And I guarantee you're going to be a lot happier with it if you do that. I mean, I've done it and I know that works, so getting back to basics might be a good idea for you. Because like I said, I honestly think that a lot of people, they over process everything when they're dialing stuff in, and then it just ends up sounding like absolute crap. And you don't realize it until you go back to basics and do something simple, and then you compare them. You're like, why does this basic one sound better? Well, it's because you didn't overthink it, So try that, and I'm sure you'll probably like your modeler a lot better after doing that, So definitely try that. And here's the other thing too. Like, there is a piece of gear out there that is extremely affordable and sounds amazing. And like all the digital platforms out there, it only sounds as good as the presets that you put in it. So if you get some good presets for it, I mean, the ToneX 1 would be a great choice for you because it's $150, somewhere around there, $150-ish, and you can get an amazing sounding piece of gear that is either something you can use as your number one piece of gear or an awesome backup or insurance policy if you get to a gig and your main rig fails you. Pull it out of your gig bag and throw it on the floor and it'll sound amazing and get you through the show. And there's a lot of great preset and capture packs for that. I mean, I sell them. I'm not trying to sell you my stuff, but if you go on my website, tonewars.com, and get some presets for it, I guarantee you it'll sound amazing. I mean, they sound awesome. I sell ToneX capture packs every day, and people love them. And there's no reason why they wouldn't sound good in there. And there's a way to have it set up, which is easy. You just push the 2 buttons at the same time, and you get 3 different presets that you can cycle through. So you can have a clean, crunch, and lead, or whatever you want on it, and it'll sound awesome. And it's got all the effects now. So for $150-ish, you can have a very affordable piece of gear. And I think, you know, going through the different preset packs and stuff like that for you is going to be a lot of fun, and I really think you'll enjoy it. So another thing that I wanted to talk to you about, let's say you're a little frustrated with your guitar. Well, a lot of people, first thing they do is like, well, I'm going guitar shopping. You know, I'm going to sell my guitar, get rid of this thing, and get something else because I don't like the way it sounds. You can spend a couple $100s on a set of pickups that'll completely change how it sounds and feels in a way that might be more suitable to your taste and a way that you might make you want to keep the guitar now. So just do some research on some different pickups that are available out there and try out some pickups in your guitar and upgrade those, and most likely you're going to like the guitar a lot better now. Now, my favorite pickups are the Sonic Ecstasy or the Dreamcatcher Rainmaker pickups that DiMarzio makes for John Petrucci's guitars, and I think these are amazing. So that's a good start for me, but everybody likes different stuff. So try out some bare knuckles or, you know, the DiMarzios or whatever you want, and I guarantee you'll find something that'll make you want to keep the guitar. And lastly, let's talk about the most important piece of gear that you have, and that is you. What have you done for you lately? You know, like, have you finally written that song that you've been kind of procrastinating on? Have you finally written that solo that you've been procrastinating on, or that's got you stumped? Or when's the last time you fired up your metronome and started practicing, you know, your leads and riffs and trying to get tighter and be a better guitar player? I mean, what I do, when I have the time, I try to practice to my metronome at least 20 minutes a day. I haven't done that in a few weeks because I've been so busy, but like I said, when I have time, I do that. But the other thing I try to do is go on YouTube and try to learn some riffs. I don't try to learn theory or anything like that. I just try to learn some riffs and learn them verbatim, and then after that, I kind of reconfigure them and make them my own. That's kind of what we do as musicians, right? So try to do stuff like that and get occupied with that kind of stuff as opposed to worrying about your gear. And you can always improve. You know, there's always room for improvement as guitar players. So I highly recommend that you do that. Go on Robert Baker's channel, and he's always got those 5 riffs or something like that. Learn some riffs from him, or, you know, Uncle Ben, you know, Ben Eller, or other people, and just learn some. A lot of times I'll just say, like, if I'm stumped on something, I'll be like, well, I'm in B, and I'm looking for some cool blues riffs that I can put in a solo. So I'll just type in the search bar on YouTube, blues riffs in B, and there's like 100 videos that pop up, and I can learn those and just kind of reconfigure them to work for me, and I'll just use them like that. So there's all kinds of things that you can do to improve your playing and become a better guitar player, because at the end of the day, that's kind of what we're trying to do, right? So get your mind off your gear and get your mind on becoming a better player. And I think that once you get kind of, you know, waist deep in that, you're going to forget about your gear and the issues that you think you have with it, and you're going to start becoming a better player and getting inspired again and challenged, and you're going to become a better player, and that's going to be freaking awesome. And you might finally be able to finish that solo that you've been working on. I know I've been there, and a lot of times that's what gets me out of the rut. I just look up some riffs in whatever key I'm in, learn them, reconfigure them, and make it work for me. So I think that's also some good advice that I can give you in this video as well. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got something out of it. And if there's anything I left out, feel free to let me know in the comment section below, and let me know what you think on the suggestions that I made. I hope that these suggestions really work for you and helped you either become a better guitar player or save you a ton of money and get really what you want out of your gear purchases and make the most out of the gear that you already have while saving money, you know. So anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone who's purchased all my preset and capture and profile packs on my website, linked below. Appreciate you guys very much. Thank you. And to all my Patreon supporters and subscribers, I really appreciate you guys. And if you're new to the channel and you like what I do here, feel free to subscribe and click the bell so that you're notified every time I either go live or come out with another episode. I got a lot more stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.